Hey guys. Uh um I hope all is well. In your guys' world and such. I know it's been a few weeks since I've talked. It's been a really intense few weeks for sure. I have been really needing to focus on my business and getting kind of things turned around and stuff like that with it, and figuring out and just, honestly, the last month particularly, I've just really focused in on just really loving and valuing myself, and such, and how I just appreciating myself and appreciating my life and all that I've got going on and things like that, and it's been really good, and I guess it's paying off. So right now I've got I got this new potential client who came on board, or I got this new client. He's a new client who I got on board, who is like hands down the biggest client I've ever gotten. Twice as big as any of my other clients, which has been amazing and stuff like that. Like, he's like nationally ranked in our industry among the best and all that kind of stuff. And so, so I am finally, so I landed him as a deal, but he has been, the best way I could say it, he's been work crushing on me. He has been really checking out my stuff online, and and he has been asking me a million questions, and I put in hours of time and research to help him and give him answers and such. And he's doing like he's twice as big as any of my clients, and he's requiring twice as much effort, but he's incredibly responsive and super on top of it. But the thing that I think is amazing is that, like, it's just how much he really values me, and how much he really appreciates me for what I'm providing and such. And so he's actually offered me a full-time job on his team. And I have to say, like, when I first started my business, like, I have been having these just like very clear goals, like, or clear idea of like what I wanted, what I thought I needed, and what I wanted to do with my life, because I finally really believe in myself and things like that, and so I've been focusing in on that. And so I was really surprised when I got this offer, and my initial reaction was like, oh no, like, there's no way, like, I don't want to join a team, like, I want to do my own thing, and stuff like that. But I've taken the last few days to really kind of process it, and like what this means to me to have someone do this. Because you have to understand, the industry that I work in, it's like everything else in my past. It's the same similar theme as everything else in my past, which has been, and I think this is true of adult children of untreated personality disorders, is it's just that, like, we are often attracted to people or situations where we're not going to be appreciated for who we are. We're not going to be valued for who we are. I've been really emotional about that today, as you can tell. It's interesting because after I got this job offer, it triggered this thing in me, this thing that I wasn't used to, and I don't know, like, I just suddenly went into this, like, couple of days where I just really couldn't process a lot. And I'm like, what is going on? I should be thrilled. I should be excited. This should be giving me more energy right now to like tackle more work, get things done, you know, and stuff like that. Instead, I've been kind of paralyzed a little emotionally. And you know, when you can't really process, you can't really do much, you know, that's usually for me the signal that there's something going on emotionally that's going to come up to the surface. And it happened today. And complex PTSD is a bitch. But what's bothering me, or what's coming up right now to the surface is, I feel like this might be one of the very first times in my life where someone really is valuing and appreciating me for who I am. You know, because my business is my baby, you know, my services, put so many years into them and figuring them out, crafting them and making this work, you know. And that's not just, and I'm not obviously just talking about my services, but I'm also talking about me too. You know, like I've put so much work into becoming someone who's confident and who loves herself and who believes in herself and believes in her craft, you know, and who believes that she can do things, you know, and can also not take herself so seriously, but, you know, and things like that. And, you know, and it feels so good to be at such a high level, such a top level, have someone look at my stuff and go, I trust you. Like, I trust you to help me make decisions on my huge mega budget for my business, and to help me, you know, like I've spent the last few years being in my industry having a really hard time with people trusting me and believing in me. Like when I come with facts and come with preparation and come with all this work, and they don't see like behind the scenes, like how many hours I've put into figuring out my business and figuring things out, like they don't appreciate that, you know, and stuff. And, you know, and so it feels incredibly validating, and it's healing to have someone offer me this opportunity, you know. And I realized too, just like, it just kind of broke open for me, this a whole thing that I've been wanting from other people, of like, just wanting to be loved for who I am, and accepted for who I am, you know. I look back on, you know, obviously my family and my parents, and, you know, obviously the whole thing of them not being able to do that for me so hard. And even recently having a situation with, you know, a guy who just couldn't love me for who I am, you know, like I wasn't good enough for him, and I was I'm so done with those people in my life, and that's why I've just expelled them all, you know, and stuff. But it takes, so yeah, so that's been triggered a little here. It's funny. I mean, it's good, you know. I mean, I think that this job, and also too, this, you know, last year I've been involved in like another group of people that I think, well, they're somewhat accepting of me for who I am. I mean, we're all very different, but you know, it's been good to be around them too and stuff like that, because they do accept me as whatever's weird or quirky coming out of me. My improv group, like they're very accepting of me too, as I am, and yeah, this job opportunity and stuff is huge, but it feels really, I think it just feels very, healing and meaningful that this stuff is starting to happen, that, because I think there comes a point in your process of healing where when you've lost so many people and you've lost so much and you have to lose them in order to find yourself, and then you work so hard on yourself and loving yourself and taking care of yourself and coming to believe that you love yourself, and like for me to be starting to hit that point in my life where it's really starting to pay off, that like I am starting to attract the right people. I mean, because this guy, I'll call him Andrew. This guy, Andrew, like, he seems like a really grounded, healthy guy, like, he's mega successful, but it's not because he's an asshole. It's because he's actually a really caring, considerate, cool person, and he's religious, but he's not religious in order to cover up or numb his insecurities and fears. Like he's religious because it really truly makes him a better person and a more healthy. It brings out the best in him as opposed to the worst, which I've experienced way too often, especially this last couple of years and stuff. And he just seems like he's got it together, really great family, loves his kids to death, it just seems like a really healthy, good guy, and people really love him, and that's why he's so successful. He's actually successful because he's just a really good, great person, and not because he's trying to manipulate or things like that, and the fact that he trusts me is huge, and I think that's really what I've wanted. And anyway, so it's weird. It's weird that this is how I'm reacting, but I know that this is just part of the process that I have to go through, because it's scary, it's hard, it's intense, and it's interesting to be going from a place of like being independent to a place where I want to be and would consider even being on a team, because honestly, like, it's like being, to me, like being a team, being in a group, you're relying on people. And that has not been my thing, like, because relying on people is scary and and things and tough, and I'm not, because obviously because of my background and just my pattern of always picking people that I could never ever please or would never love and accept me as I am, and stuff. So, so I think that moving forward, this is going to be pretty, an incredibly better situation. I mean, it already is from what I've seen, the bit of interaction that we've had and discussion and things like that. And maybe this is like the second step. I felt like the first step was starting improv and last year, and being a part of a group, and and learning to relax and be open in that group and be vulnerable, because you have to be vulnerable in improv, and being accepted. Now, maybe what it is this next place of, business wise, I'm being accepted, as I am, and, and that I'm going to, rock it, and, and rely and trust that, like, I can be a part of a group in a business format, and it can go well, and honestly, then maybe the next step is that I do have a family, and that I am loved and accepted in that family as I am, that would be amazing. And because I know I deserve that. I know I know I do, and I know that would be an incredible person, to have in a family life and such now, which is really exciting. So I just kind of feel like maybe this is the universe's, God's way of taking care of me, that I can actually let go. I'm not going to let go of my business, but I'm going to scale it down so that it's just a side business, very, a nice side business, and I'll probably have to hire someone to help me out with it, but I can, be a part of something like this, because honestly, I want to be a part of I want to be in a group. I want to get back to trusting people, and being able to rely on them and go, they've got my back, That's actually one of the big sayings that we have in improv. I've got your back. I've got your back, and it would be amazing if someone had my back financially and in my business, and it's the next big scary step, I guess, is to believe that someone would have my back that way. And if they can have my back financially and business-wise, then, maybe that next step is believing that someone could really have my back and, really love me for who I am, and love me as I am, and not want me to be something else or something different, or say that I'm not good enough for all the other shit that I've heard the last few years. I just wanted to give you guys a real moment, because I thought that you guys would totally understand and appreciate this. Because I think this is part of the whole thing of just, I think when we've had our trust destroyed, and we try to trust again and fail a lot, because we keep attracting the same people into our lives, and the same themes of really believing that what we've got in front of us is really good and really healthy and really right, and stuff like that. So, because I do think that this guy would be amazing to work for, and I really do like him, which is really nice, and and I trust him, I believe in him, and and I see what he's doing, and I'm educated and well versed enough to know that it's a risk, but it's not nearly the risk that I've taken in the past, you know, and stuff like that with business opportunities. And, yeah, because I just want to keep moving my life forward and just be the normal, healthy, happy person that I really am, you know, and shed my story, shed it, you know, and get rid of it. Not like rid of it. She never can, but I just don't want it to be my identity, you know. I don't want it to be my identity, because if it keeps being my identity, I would just keep attracting and being appealing to toxic situations or toxic relationships, you know, and I don't want that ever again. So, anyway, thank you for listening. I know this was intense, but you guys get it and stuff. So, anyway, yeah. So I hope that you guys have a good day, and feel free to drop your comments and thoughts below and stuff, and I will talk to you later. Bye.